Welcome to Chuck's Guitar Geekery. Today I'm finally doing a deep dive and solo video on the Peavey Silver Stripe Bandit. This was the first Peavey line to come out with what they call the trans tube, so it's supposed to make a solid state amp sound like a tube amp. A little uncanny, a little unheard of I guess, but these amps were everywhere in the 90s. This is actually the second one I've ever had in my possession. I sold the first one and then wound up with this one for $100, so any Peavey Bandit you can find for $100 or less, go for it. Doesn't matter which era or age it is. So anyways, there's actually a surprising amount of features on this amp and a wide range of tones you can get out of it. All thanks to the T dynamics here. Okay, so I'm really gonna have to monitor my volume input on my I record to the Zoom Q2N 4K here. So I have the Sennheiser E609 going into that. So I have to monitor my input because this amp gets loud on clean. So I'm going to start with the T dynamics in the middle here. So pretty much once the T dynamics are all the way up at 100, it's going to stay pretty much sparkly clean all the way up on the volume. The louder you turn the T dynamics up, the louder the amp gets. So when you're playing at really high volumes, to me, that's what gives it like some fullness to it that you hear like on a stage. For recording, it's not so important, but T dynamics about in the middle. That's a good place to start. And the EQ's in the middle. I think that's where it sounds best here. And then it has a bright switch. Little humbucker. Way louder with humbuckers. So let's turn the T dynamics all the way down. You see it adds a little bit of grit there even when the volume's on like 2 or 3. So let's turn it up to 4 or so. That's where it was at the beginning. So with the T dynamics all the way down, to me that sounds like an old Fender amp cranked a bit. So that's a good sound there. Then you can hit it with an overdrive here. Before I move on from the clean channel, the T dynamics really gives you 2 ways to use this as a pedal platform. You can turn the tube dynamics all the way up, volume down quite a bit. That gives you pretty much a sparkling clean. Maybe turn the bright switch off for that one. Use it as a platform for just getting the sound of your pedals. So there's all the things you can do with the clean channel. That brings me over to the dirty channel, which I've only ever used this amp live as a pedal platform. So it does have a dirty channel. Let's see what that sounds like. Which that's already a lot of gain, but it does have a gain push button for even more gain. So I'll start, the pre-gain is the gain, so. So on the gain, I like the T dynamics up, so it gets less fizzy and kind of has more definition to it. So then let's check out this thrash button, which pretty much scoops the mids. And for a little more oomph, it has a resonance button over here. So in a mix, it might make stuff muddy, but if you're playing by yourself at lower volumes, it kind of fills out the sound a little bit. So. Which I think it's clipping the recording, so. So to me, that's what it does best, is the low gain stuff. If you want to go high gain, just get a distortion pedal front of this, and it's a great pedal platform. So moral of the story, you find any Peavey Bandit for around 100, 150 bucks or less, go for it. Teal Stripe, 65, Original Series, Red Stripe, they're all great amps for the money. Get a pedal or two, you can probably get any sound you ever want, as much volume as you want. This amp also has 2 effects loops. I'm not sure why the Bandits come with 2 effects loops, but it's got an effects loop on the front, effects loop on the back. And this one will actually drive an external speaker cabinet. So I think when it does that, it jumps the whole amp up to 100 watts. It's 80 watts with just an internal speaker. So anyways, battery in my camera's about to die. So thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, look for a Peavey. See ya.